What's up, ladies and gents? This is the Who Are They podcast with your boy D2Nice86, and I'm excited. It's the weekend. There's nothing better to do when you've had a long, stressful week than see someone punch someone else in the face. And for the YouTube algorithm, I'm just talking about UFC 273, baby. Let's nah. I ain't getting no copyright laws posted on me. So go. Nah, but let's talk about this. Dern versus Torres. Number 5, Dern versus number 7, I think is going to be an extremely exciting fight. And I think it exciting for a big reason, and and it's because we're talking about size disadvantage. We have the shorter Torres versus the longer, taller Dern, and I think it will give Dern a little bit of a problem. Now, we know that she is a submission specialist in Dern. I find this to be exciting because it'll be the battle of size and the battle of will versus the battle of submission versus the battle of power. And I think that Torres brings it. She brings that power. So let's see what they do. For that fight, I think I gotta go with Torres. I think she just hits Dern on the button with that power, and I think it might be a little too much to handle. Going straight into it, the fight that people are talking about around the world. Mm, I'm ready. Burns versus Chimaev, number 2 versus number 7. How quickly can you get to a top 10 number, man? Exciting. Now, I think in this case, we're talking about just brute power, brute force versus the man who has the experience, who's been in tough situations. We know that Burns just came off of a fight with Wonder Boy right after a fight with what some may say pound for pound the greatest in our boy Kamaru Usman. And, you know, he weathered the storm for a bit. He took a few big punches. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to come out on top on that one. And where do we go from here? We go with a man who's still, again, experienced. He's championship level. This we know. Against who? A man who has been running through the competition. And I think that Chimaev has great skill. He's shown that you can't even really hit him. So what do you do when you can't hit what you can't see? You wrestle him, I guess. And we're going to see what Burns is able to do in that case. Now, I don't think that Chimaev is going to pick up Burns and he's going to just walk him around the octagon like a baby. I think Burns is just too skilled for that. So the real question is, does experience overcome brute force? We're going to find out. But if you're looking for my suggestion, I think Burns gets it. I think the experience changes it all. But I will mention one thing. If Chimaev is able to get past Burns, and let me tell you this, it's one of those things by even thinking about it, how exciting that is that he would be able to beat a top 5 guy after being 10-0 already. It's something that just gets my heart racing. But we're not done. Sterling versus Jan, the champion versus number 1. It's very simple. We know that Jan wants to get his belt back. We know that he's willing to put himself in very much danger to do so. He made a mistake. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, what Sterling did was wrong. He acted his way out of that fight. The truth still remains. The referee said the knee is down. He made a mistake. He threw a knee. So, with that being said, I've got to say two things. My heart says Sterling. My brain says Jan. Now, we know that Sterling has come off of a post surgery. So, what does that really mean? We haven't seen him fight since the surgery. We don't know what he's going to bring to the table, if there's going to be better movement. We don't know any of this. So, like I said, my head says Jan. I got to go Peter Yan on this one, guys. And finally, the fight that we are waiting for, because we saw it in his last fight. It almost get choked out, which almost makes me choked up, because when you're talking about Volkanovski, the champ, versus Sung Jung, number 4, when you have the champ beat the guy that beat the guy he's going to fight now, you gotta wonder what was in it for him. Why this fight? Because again, he beat Ortega, and Ortega handled easily the Korean Zombie. And while I still think that there's always the puncher's chance, and that the Korean Zombie literally has the ability to pull something out of nowhere, the beautiful hat trick, I gotta say, after seeing what Volkanovski was able to do with going in, and knowing that this was impressive, to see him in that rear naked choke and getting ready to pass out and somehow break out of that, bravo. So with that being said, I still gotta go with Volkanovski. I think he takes it. Guys, this was the Who Are They podcast with your boy, D2 Nice. And before I go, I gotta say, this beautiful cut was brought to you by your boy, Jonny B. His link will be in the description. So if you're in the San Diego area and you need to get cut up right, check him out. This has been my review of UFC 273. It's time.